Hey there, in today's practice, we're going to work on just some care for the neck and the shoulders. It'll include a little bit of stretching, some nerve glides, which is just a way to work on how the nerves move through all of the different tissues. And so we'll glide them kind of back and forth because sometimes our range of motion can be limited based on just how the nerves are able or not able to move through the tissues. Today you'll really just want to strap. We are going to sit in a seated position for a little bit of time. So if it's nicer to have your hips elevated, you are welcome to do so. And you can also keep the legs in a more straightened position or do this first part on a chair if that's going to be more comfortable for you. So whenever you're ready, you'll start to make your way into a comfortable seat. Rest the hands somewhere along the legs. Use an inhale to sit tall and a nice long exhale to relax the shoulders down away from the ears. You might close the eyes or gently gaze down at the nose. And you'll start to notice how the hips are contacting the surface beneath it. Does it feel like you're leaning more to the left or to the right? Next, you'll start to notice the rate of your breath. Is it fast or slow? And are you breathing into the chest, the belly, or both? Next, you'll take the time to scan the body from the top of the head all the way down to the tips of the toes, just checking in with how everything feels in this moment. You might notice certain areas that feel a little bit more tense or uncomfortable, and then other areas that maybe feel a little bit more relaxed or at ease. Reminder that one of these is not necessarily better than the other. It's just a reflection of how you move throughout your day. Finally, you'll bring your awareness to the mind to reflect on any thoughts that have come up so far in your practice or your day. Has the mind been racing with thoughts, or has it been a little bit more calm? Do the thoughts revolve around a certain topic? And do they like to linger, or can you easily let them go? We'll take one deep breath together where you inhale for 4, and then you'll open the mouth and let out a nice on the exhale. You can imagine yourself releasing anything stressful or frustrating so that you don't have to carry it into your practice. So when you're ready, you'll inhale for 4, breathe deep for 3, feel the ribs expand out to the side 2, sip in the last bit of air for 1, open the mouth, exhale. You'll slowly lower the chin down towards the chest. Leave it there. Interlace the fingers behind the head and pull the elbows forward. Continue to exhale and drop the chin down towards the chest. You might stay here, relax the shoulders away from the ears if you already feel a good stretch, or you can continue to round the spine even more so the elbows point closer to the floor. 3 to 4 breaths wherever you are, breathing into the back side of the neck, space between the shoulder blades. With your next inhale, you'll slowly start to push the head into the hands to lift the head up. Exhale to relax the hands down towards the legs. Inhale, shrug the shoulders up towards the ears. Exhale to squeeze the shoulder blades together tight and then down towards the hips. One more. Inhale, shrug the shoulders up. Exhale to squeeze the shoulder blades together tight and then down towards the hips. You'll slowly start to blink the eyes open if they were still closed. We'll move into some gentle stretches for the neck. So as you exhale, tuck the chin down towards the chest. Then bring the right ear over the right shoulder. Leave it there. Option to take the right hand up and over to the left side of the head. Exhale to pull the left shoulder down. Breathe deep into the left side of the neck. This can be where you stay. Or you're going to take the left fingertips towards the floor and crawl them away from the body as far as you'd like, maybe even slightly back behind you. I'm going to give you one more option today. Turn the thumb out to the side. Wherever you are, you have 4 breaths, trying to keep the shoulder away from the ear and sitting tall. Noticing how the left side of the neck and the arm feel. Next, exhale, hands go down towards the legs, roll the chin towards the center. This time you'll stack left ear over left shoulder. Inhale to take the left hand up and over to the right side of the head. Exhale to pull the right shoulder down. Breathe into the right side of the neck. Again, this can be where you stay, or maybe take the right fingertips towards the floor. Crawl them a little further away from the body. 3 to 4 breaths here. Again, you might explore what it feels like when you turn right thumb out to the side. Again, taking the time to just observe how the body feels on the right side. Trying to keep the exhales long. And then you'll exhale, hands back down towards the legs, roll the chin towards the center, then slowly pick the head up. We're going to start to stretch some of the shoulder muscles that can also influence the neck. So you're going to take the back of the left hand somewhere on the outside of the left hip. You might need to bring it a little bit more forward than you think, and then try to pull your left elbow towards the center of the body. You can also take the right hand, reach across for the outside of the left elbow and pull the elbow in a little closer. Relax the left shoulder away from the face. And if you feel a nice stretch and you want to stay here, do so. Or you can take that right ear over to the right shoulder to see if that changes how this feels on the left side. The other option is to slowly rotate the chin down towards the right shoulder. Wherever you are, you have 3 to 4 breaths here. Today might be a little bit more challenging as we hold postures a little bit longer and closer to the floor. So I challenge you to, anytime you notice the mind wandering off, just refocus to the breath, noticing if you're inhaling or exhaling. Next exhale, you'll release the arm, chin towards the center. Make yourself a double chin and pull the head up. Now we're going to do the same thing, other side. So back of the right hand, somewhere on the outside of the right hip. Maybe pull it a little bit more forward. Try to keep the right shoulder down as you pull the right elbow forward. That you can stay here if you already feel a stretch, or you're going to try and reach across with your left hand to the outside of the right elbow. Then maybe pull it just a little bit more. Nothing crazy here. Relax the shoulders away from the ears. You can stay here with the head in the center, or you're going to take left ear towards left shoulder. Just see how that maybe changes or doesn't change things. If this feels good, maybe you stay here, or you're going to rotate chin down towards left shoulder. You have 4 breaths wherever you've chosen. Just noticing how the right side of the body feels. Different or same than the left. And then you'll slowly use an exhale to release the arms, chin towards the center. This can be where you stay for a second, kind of let everything settle, and then make yourself a double chin and bring the head up to center. So we're going to work on some head movements that can really emphasize the different elements that you need in your neck for range of motion. And so while you do this, you have the option to just rest the hand somewhere on the knees. Maybe you just, lock onto the knees there, or you can slide the hands underneath the hips and pull the shoulders down. Hands underneath the hips is just going to encourage you to really keep your shoulders down away from the ears. And sometimes it's easier if you're sitting on a chair to hold on to that there. So wherever you are, you're going to roll the shoulders down your back, slight squeeze the shoulder blades together, and then down. Your goal is to keep your shoulders pinned in this position for the next couple of minutes. When you exhale, tuck the chin down towards the chest. Bring the chin over towards the right shoulder. Try to pull your left shoulder down and back a little bit more. Then you'll inhale, lift the chin, look all the way to the right as much as you can. Again, trying to keep your left shoulder back behind you. Inhale, look up towards the ceiling, chin up and to the right. Then you'll slowly bring the chin up into the center, look up. Then chin up and to the left. Try to keep your right shoulder back at this point. Then you're going to drop the chin to hover over the left shoulder. Look as far as you can towards the left, pull the right shoulder back. Then you'll start to drop chin down towards the left shoulder on an exhale. And then back towards the center. We're going to go one more in this direction. So chin over towards right shoulder. Pull the left shoulder down and back. Inhale, lift the chin. Look as far as you can towards the right. Again, keeping left shoulder back. Inhale, chin up and to the right. Slowly bring the chin towards the center. And then chin up and to the left. You'll slowly drop the chin to hover over the left shoulder. Look as far as you can towards the left. Pull the right shoulder a little bit further back behind you and down. And then exhale, drop the chin down towards left shoulder. And then maybe back towards the center when you're ready. Just let the head hang, relax the shoulders, maybe even round them a little bit in the spine. We're going to do the same thing going in the other direction. So when you're ready, inhale, sit tall. Pull the shoulders up and then down your back side. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Then you'll start to bring the chin over towards the left shoulder. Inhale, lift the chin so that it hovers over the left shoulder. Look as far as you can towards the left. Pull the right shoulder back. Inhale, lift the chin up and to the left. This can be where you stay, or chin towards the center. Then up and to the right. Exhale, slowly drop the chin down. Look as far as you can towards the right. Pull the left shoulder back. Another exhale, drop chin down towards right shoulder. And then you'll bring everything back towards the center. One more in this direction. So chin over towards left shoulder. Inhale, lift the chin. Hover over left shoulder. Look as far as you can towards the left. Inhale again. Chin up towards the ceiling and to the left. And then you'll slowly bring the chin towards the center and up and to the right. Slowly drop the chin down, look as far as you can towards the right. Last exhale, chin down towards right shoulder. Hold for a second, pull the left shoulder down and back. And then slowly draw the chin towards the center. So you're going to make yourself a nice double chin. Lift the head up, and then maybe drop the head back. Pulling the shoulders away. Bring the chin back. So like double chin. And then lift yourself all the way up. We're going to move towards those nerve glides now. And so when we do this, you might get, it's kind of like a stretching sensation that goes down the length of the arm, and it can change depending upon if you move the wrist or the neck. And so I want you to pick a sensation that's maybe like a 5 on a 10 scale, where it's a little uncomfortable, but nothing too uncomfortable. And so with these, we are going to move a little bit more rather than holding. So you're going to start with the left palm up. This is for the median nerve, and the median nerve goes to these 3 fingers and up towards the neck. So all of these start in the neck and somewhere in the hand, okay? So palm up, shoulder down. So try to keep your left shoulder down the whole time. You're just going to push left hand out to the side. Try to straighten the elbow with the fingertips towards the floor. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, push out. So you're going to move slow here. Inhale to center. You can stay with this motion. If it feels pretty intense, you might feel it in your bicep, okay? Or you're going to take right ear towards the right shoulder, and then again, try to straighten the elbow, fingertips towards the floor. Maybe 3 or 4 here. And if you're not quite feeling it, that can be a good thing. You can also just double check shoulders down and maybe even bring the hand slightly back behind you. This last one, you can keep the arm straight and then just move at the wrist. So noticing if it gets less intense when the fingers go up, more intense when it goes down. And you have found your median nerve. Slowly release, shake it out. We're going to do the same thing other side. So right palm up towards the ceiling, right shoulder down away from the ear, sit tall. Start to straighten the right elbow, fingertips towards the floor if they can. Back and forth a couple of times. Use your exhale to push out. Inhale to pull in. And for this next one, remember, if this is still okay, it's not quite a 5 out of 10, you can take your left ear towards your left shoulder, then push the palm out to the side to straighten. Make sure the right shoulder stays down, and maybe even take your hand slightly back behind you a little bit more. The next time your arm is straight, you can stay there and then just play at the wrist. So palm or fingertips up and then down, seeing if that changes the sensation that you feel. Slowly release, shake it out, bring the head back towards the center. We're going to do One more, it's for the ulnar nerve. And so the ulnar nerve goes to these two fingers and passes right underneath this bony prominence underneath the elbow. So you're going to reach your left hand out to the side, thumb down, make an OK sign. Keep the left shoulder heavy towards the floor. Start to bend at the elbow. You're going to let the palm go up towards the ceiling and then towards the face, almost like you're trying to put, the glasses on. But the goal here is to keep the left elbow and left shoulder in one line. So that upper arm is parallel to the floor. So you're going to go back and forth a couple of times. And then you can again play with the head position. So maybe take right ear towards right shoulder as you do this. And the next time your elbow is bent, you might just move at the wrist. Noticing if the sensation that you feel in the arm changes while you move the wrist. Slowly release, shake it out. Then we're going to do the same thing other side. So stretch. Right arm out to the side, right thumb down. Woof. Make an OK sign. Try to keep right elbow in line with the right shoulder with the right upper arm parallel to the floor. Start to bend at the elbow, palm up towards the ceiling, and then palm towards the face. Exhale, release, or back and forth, syncing this movement with your breath, however it makes sense to you. And then eventually you can, if this is not too much, you're going to take left ear towards left shoulder and start to do the same thing. So back and forth. And then if you wanted to, the next time the elbow is bent, just play with the wrist movement. You'll slowly shake out the arms and make your way into a tabletop position. So once you're in your tabletop position, hands underneath the shoulders, knees directly underneath the hips, push the feet into the floor. Start to wake up the spine a little bit more. Exhale, round the spine, tailbone down, chin to chest. And as you inhale, move towards looking up. Untuck the tailbone, drop the belly, the chest. Start to look up. So today I'm going to encourage you to try and make this movement very slow. So tailbone down, round the low back, then the middle back, then chin to chest. Inhale, untuck the tailbone, drop the belly, the chest, and start to look up. Like you're making a wave with the spine, maybe 3 to 4 more here. If you wanted to really challenge yourself, you could start with the motion at the head instead. Trying to push the boundary a little bit more each time. And after your next one, you'll end in a neutral tabletop position. So we're going to work on some rotations for the thoracic spine, which is the area of the spine that's between the shoulder blades. So you're going to stack right arm underneath right shoulder. Inhale, take the left hand behind the head. Exhale, touch left elbow to right. Inhale, open up the left elbow. High to the sky, as high as you can get it without shifting the hips. So I can go a lot more if I shift the hips. Not the goal here. Hips stay planted like they are in tabletop. Exhale, touch left elbow to right. Inhale, open up. Exhale to touch. Inhale to open up. Exhale to touch. Inhale, left elbow high. And then you're going to pass the left arm underneath the right for thread the needle. Look towards the right. Lower the left shoulder, left side of the face onto the floor. Hips stay high to the sky. You might need to curl the toes under. You can also walk your right hand forward more. Push the right hand down and forward into the mat. Pin the left shoulder down. You have 4 to 5 breaths here. Next, inhale, you'll push on through that right hand, lift yourself up. Same thing other side, left hand underneath left shoulder. Inhale, right hand goes behind the head. Exhale to touch, right elbow to left. Inhale, open up. Exhale to touch. Inhale, open up. See if you can go a little bit more without moving the hips. Exhale to touch. Inhale, right elbow up. See if you can really push the left hand into the ground. Exhale to touch. One more. Inhale, open up right elbow high. Exhale, pass the right arm underneath the left for thread the needle. Lower the right shoulder down. Right side of the face onto the floor. Left hand can go a little bit more forward. Push the left hand down and forward. As you pin the right shoulder into the floor, hips stay high, over the knees. 4 to 5 breaths here. Noticing if you feel any restrictions in your ability to inhale. So you might feel that it's difficult to fully expand the ribs in certain directions as you inhale. Just making note. Slowly start to push down through that left hand. Right hand underneath the left, and we're going to lower all the way down towards the floor for some spine strengthening and shoulder stretches. So once you're on the floor, place the hands underneath the shoulders, push the hips down, feet down, tighten up the legs for your cobra pose. Roll the shoulders down your back, point the elbows behind you, look straight down at the floor. So today I want you to keep a double chin. When you're ready, inhale, lift the chest. If you need to, you can keep a little pressure in the hands here, or you're going to try to float them off the floor. Hold here for 3. Remember to breathe for 2. Slight squeeze of the shoulder blades together, chin back for 1. Exhale, lower down. Take left elbow out to the side with the elbow in line with the left shoulder, 90-degree bend. Look towards the right. Push down through that right hand. Spin the right hip on top of the left. Sink the left shoulder towards the floor. Relax left side of the face to the ground or a prop. And the more you reach your right leg back behind you, the deeper the stretch you might feel in the shoulder. 3 to 4 breaths here. Inhale slowly onto the stomach again. This time you're going to crawl the left fingertips up about 4 inches so that now the elbow is a little bit higher than the shoulder. Then again, look towards the right, spin on the left hip, so the right hip up towards the ceiling, and relax. Left side of the face towards the floor or prop. Maybe 3 breaths here. Notice if the angle of the stretch feels a little different in this position. Then you'll exhale, lower the belly back onto the floor for another cobra pose. Hands underneath the shoulders, roll the shoulders down your back, point the elbows behind you. Push the hips down, feet down, tighten up the legs. Make a double chin. Really squeeze the shoulder blades together and down, back behind you. Inhale, lift the chest. Again, you can keep gentle pressure here in the hands if you need, or you're going to float them off. Hold here for 3. Really make yourself a nice double chin for 2. And 1. Slowly exhale. Take the right elbow out to the side this time. 90-degree bend in the right elbow. With the right elbow in line with the shoulder. Look towards the left. Place the left hand down. Spin the left hip on top of the right. Try to relax. Right side of the face towards the floor or prop. And you have about 4 breaths here. Next, exhale, you'll roll back onto the stomach. Crawl the right fingertips up about 3 to 4 inches. So now the right elbow is above the right shoulder. Again, look towards the left. Spin the left hip on top of the right. Try to keep right shoulder heavy towards the floor with the right side of the face resting on the floor or prop. Next, exhale, you'll roll back onto the stomach, setting up for a locust pose. So back of the hands next to the thighs. Same setup here. So push the hips down, feet down, tighten up the legs. And then when you're ready, you'll inhale, lift the chest. Shoulders down away from the ears. Slight squeeze the shoulder blades together. Make yourself a nice double chin. Really push the back of the hands into the floor. Inhale, lift yourself up a little bit more. Last 2 breaths. Remember to breathe. Exhale, lower down. So this time we're going to stretch the biceps. Take the left arm out to the side, left hand in line with the right shoulder. Start to look towards the right. Push again through that right hand. Spin the right hip on top of the left. If you can keep going, you're welcome to do so. You might even put both feet flat on the floor. But to feel the stretch in the bicep, you might consider rotating the left palm up towards the ceiling and then making a fist. You can kind of go back and forth here if you'd like, or once you find that stretch, relax the left side of the face onto the floor. 4 breaths. Next, exhale, you'll release, roll back onto the stomach, back of the hands back on the mat. Another locust pose. So push the hips down, feet down, tighten up the legs. When you're ready, inhale, lift the chest. Push the backs of the hands into the floor, shoulders away from the ears. Squeeze the shoulder blades together, double chin here, chin towards chest. And then maybe you inhale, lift the legs. Lift the upper body a little bit more. Then the legs, hold here for 3. Really push the hips down for 2. Push the back of the hands into the mat for 1. Exhale, lower down. Going for the bicep stretch on the right. So right arm out to the side with the right arm in line with the right shoulder. Look towards the left. Push the left hand down. Spin left hip on top of the right, maybe even past it. If you can put both feet down, you're welcome to do so. But relax, right side of the face towards the floor. Maybe you spin the right palm up towards the ceiling and then make a fist. Allowing yourself to pick a variation of this pose that feels the best for your body. And just in case you don't know where the biceps is, it's, the front part of the upper arm where you get a nice bulge in front of the humerus as you flex the elbow. Exhale, slowly release. Back onto the stomach. Place the hands underneath the shoulders. Inhale, lift yourself up and back into a tabletop position. Setting up for a puppy pose here. You might want the blanket nearby if it's difficult to place the chest on the floor. So hands go about shoulder width distance apart or a little bit wider. Walk them away from the body. Then you're going to keep the hips over the knees. Look straight down at the floor. Lower the chest towards the floor. If the chest does not meet the floor, that's okay. You're going to roll up blanket towel underneath the chest so that it can meet it. Look straight down. Once the chest is touching the floor or the prop underneath it, then you can start to shift the eyes towards the fingertips. 3 to 4 breaths here. If you experience any pain, then you'll just want to come out here and maybe go to a child's pose. Next, inhale. Start to push the hands into the floor. Lift the chest, however feels best for you. And then you'll start to make your way into one more seated position. This is where you're going to want your strap or your scarf nearby. Again, setting up into whatever position feels best for you. And we're going to stretch the triceps. But you're going to want to take the strap just in case you want to go for the bind. So the arm variation that we're about to do is the arm portion of Gomukhasana. So you'll inhale with the left, or the strap in the left hand, reach that left arm high, and then bend at the elbow. So like you're trying to put the left hand on the base of the neck behind you. You can stay here if you want to really just focus on the triceps or the back of the arm stretch. You're going to take your right hand to the left elbow and encourage the elbow a little further back behind the head. So you can stay here, or you're going to take your right hand, thumb down towards the floor, bend at the elbow, start to walk the right hand up the back, maybe you grab onto the scarf, maybe the fingers can interlace. So right elbow down towards the floor, left elbow up towards the ceiling, and wherever you are, you just have 4 breaths here. Try to keep the tailbone down towards the floor. So notice if you're arching the low back here or not. Long breaths. After your next exhale, you'll slowly release, and we'll switch to the side. So this time you're going to want to start with your strap in the right hand. Inhale, reach the right arm overhead. Be careful not to hit yourself. Oof. And then you'll exhale, bend at the right elbow. Right hand at the base of the neck. Inhale, left hand can go up to the right elbow. Maybe you pull it a little further back behind the head. Maybe 3 breaths here. You can always stay in this position if you really like the stretch, or we're going to move towards the Gomukhasana arms. So left thumb down towards the floor on the outside of the hip, then bend at the elbow. Walk the back of the hand up the low back, almost like you're trying to crawl the fingertips closer to each other. You can grab onto the strap there, and left elbow down towards the floor. So if you need to see what this looks like with the strap, this is what it would be, and you can crawl it up a little bit more. Squeeze the shoulder blades together, elbow down, left elbow down, right elbow high, and you have 3 more breaths here. Next exhale, you'll slowly release. Take the strap out to the side, and we'll just do a couple of seated postures here. So you'll inhale, reach the arms overhead. Exhale, twist towards the left, right hand to the outside of the left knee. Inhale, sit tall again. Exhale, twist a little deeper. 3 to 4 breaths here. Trying to keep the shoulders down away from the ears. Inhale, sit tall. Exhale, twist towards the right this time. Left hand to the outside of the right leg. Inhale, sit tall. Exhale, twist a little deeper. Try to look back behind you. Next, inhale, you reach the hands up towards the ceiling. Exhale, walk the hands forward for a gentle forward fold. Slight tuck of the chin towards the chest. Try to keep the hips heavy. When you're ready, you'll inhale, sit tall. So we're going to take 10 breaths in a seated posture. Again, you can take this kind of easy pose, whatever feels best for you in a comfortable seat. And we're going to add a mudra, a hasta mudra, or a hand gesture. And so this one is meant to connect to consciousness, and it's called the Chin Mudra, and it can help to bring inner awareness, to create calmness in the mind. And so the way that you do this is you're going to take the tip of your index finger and place it right underneath the tip of the thumb. Okay? And then again, same thing on the other side. So tip of the index finger just underneath the tip of the thumb. Then you're going to straighten the fingers. Rest them somewhere on the knees with the palms facing forward. We're just going to take 10 breaths here. So relax the shoulders away from the ears. Close the eyes. And just settle in. So if you need something to kind of focus on for these next 10 breaths, just want to observe the mind, almost like you're watching TV, noticing what comes up. And then if you have something come up, where do you feel it in the body? And then once you bring your awareness to whatever's popped up, can you let it go and refocus back to the breath? About 2 to 3 more breaths here. And before you move, I just want you to check in with the body and the mind, observing how it feels in this moment. Different or same than when we first started. Then you'll slowly blink the eyes open. We're going to make our way onto the back. So if you need to do another spinal twist or any other posture before you take your final resting pose for the last part of practice, you are welcome to do that. So maybe you just gently rock the knees side to side, the low back heavy, and then you can drop the knees towards one side, trying to keep left shoulder heavy. So knees towards the right, left shoulder heavy. Maybe 2 to 3 breaths here. Then you'll inhale to center, and then exhale, knees towards the left, right shoulder heavy. When you're ready, we'll bring the knees back towards the center. You're welcome to do any last bit of movement that might feel good here. And then you'll make your way into your final resting pose. So that could be with the legs straight, feet out to the side, palms up. Or you can always, keep the knees bent, feet a little bit wider than the hips. Woo. And maybe you rest the palms on the hips, knees together. This can just be a little bit more supportive for the low back. Today for the breathing practice, we're going to work on a small breath hold. So you'll inhale for 4, hold the breath in for 2, and then exhale out slowly for a count of 6. If at any point you start to feel anxious, lightheaded, or dizzy, please return back to a more normal way of breathing for you. And remember, there can be so many things that happen in life and in the body that make it difficult to change the rate of the breath. So if that's you today, practice patience and kindness with yourself. So when you're ready, you'll inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1, hold, 2, 1, out, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, in, 4, 3, 2, 1, hold, 2, 1, out, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, in, 4, 3, 2, 1, hold, 2, 1, out, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, in, 4, 3, 2, 1, hold, 2, 1, out, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, in, 4, 3, 2, 1, hold, 2, 1, out, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, in, 4, 3, 2, 1, hold, 2, 1, out, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Long inhale. Nice long exhale. With each next exhale, allow yourself to feel more supported by the ground and any props you might have beneath you. So that as you continue to exhale, you might allow yourself to sink into this support. So that as the body starts to feel more comfortable, it might release any remaining tension that it's holding on to. And in time, you might find this state of being. It's right before you fall asleep. The body is heavy, fully relaxed, resting, almost sinking into the support that is beneath it. And the mind is calm but present, so that maybe you can find stillness in the body and in the mind. If it's difficult to quiet the mind, remember you can always use imagery to allow your thoughts to float out of the mind space as they pop up. So that you can take these next 2 to 3 minutes to rest and recover here. I'll let you know when it's time to come out. With your next inhale, notice how the belly or the chest rises. And with your next exhale, notice how they fall. So that as you bring awareness to the movement of the breath, you allow yourself to come back into this current moment, so you can slowly start to wake yourself up. You might wiggle the toes, the fingers, you can circle the wrists, ankles. Maybe you gently rock the head side to side or stretch overhead. Any movement that might feel good here. So that when you're ready, you'll start to roll to one side, taking a breath or two there. And then eventually you'll start to push yourself up into a comfortable seat in the center of your space, where you might close the eyes and gently gaze down at the nose. You can rest the hands somewhere along the legs. Wherever you are, I encourage you to take a moment or two here to just observe how the body and the mind now feel at the end of your practice. And it can be as simple as different or same. You're always welcome to bring the palms together to touch, thumbs in front of the heart space in Anjali Mudra. You might take this time to thank yourself for showing up to your mat, for dedicating this time to yourself and to your practice. But most of all, I would encourage you to thank your body for what it has allowed you to do today. When you're ready, you'll slowly start to blink the eyes open. Thank you. Thank you so much for letting me guide your practice today, and I hope to see you in the next one.